Hi everybody, welcome to Skill 3. It's about posture, and as we get into posture, obviously it's not all about the way you sit or the way you slouch or even the way you stand. It's the way that people perceive you when you're doing the business. And I'll just go back to things I've repeated many times because sometimes it takes a while to get the message into people's brain. And it's a little bit like when you're on a train journey. When you get on a train, you pretty much know that when you're on it, you're going to get to your destination. And it doesn't really matter whether you go by the bullet train or whether you go by the scenic route. You know that you're still going to get to your destination. You're not even walking to the station anymore. You're not really standing on the platform waiting for the train anymore. You've got to let people know that you're actually on the train, and that whatever happens in your life, you've made the decision to change it, and that you're on the train and it will get you to the destination. The pace is irrelevant because some people do work quicker than others, but it doesn't matter as long as you're on the train. And if it does stop to pick other people along the way, that you don't decide to get off, because it's only you that can change the decisions that you make in your life. Things that go on around you, some good, some bad, cannot change your decisions. Only you can react to what goes on. Now, I'm just going to show you the train when I advertised where we were going, and a lot of people enjoyed it. So you can see the popularity of the destination. I'm just going to remind you again on certain things because I want these to become embedded in your mind, because it becomes part of your psyche and part of the way you react to people. You can look down any street, look down the street, the road, the grove, whatever it is that you live in, and imagine asking any 100 people, do you want to pay less tax? How many of those 100 will say yes? Pretty much most. How many to make more money? Pretty much most of them as well. Spend more time with the family. That might not be quite so high, but that doesn't matter because not everybody wants to spend more time with the family, but the figure will still be high. And when you see that if we ask those people those questions, the amount of people that are not really living the lifestyle that they want. So that means they're open to a change of lifestyle. So it's what we do and what we say that influences the decision to join us. And tonight is not about asking people to join us. It's a little bit following on from last week. It's about putting people through an interview process, through a sorting process, whether they qualify for what we are looking for as well. If you imagine you had the key to King Solomon's mines and you wanted people to mine, and you said to people, look, I'll give you a section for free. I'll give you the tools to do the mining. I'll even train you. And you can take as much as you want out of the mine, no limitations whatsoever. But there's one condition. You pay me half of everything you find. Do you think people would be willing to get in there and change their lifestyle? I think most people would. The ones that wanted to surf the internet and watch telly wouldn't be too much bothered. But we're not really looking for those people either. We're looking for the people that would want to go in the mine and mine it and work hard and change their life. And if you look, use that as an analogy. And when you say pay me half of everything you find, go back to the compensation plan. And does that remind you a little bit of the mega match bonus? Try to remember the stories, because stories stay in people's mind forever. Facts and figures go within minutes. So the stories that you hear, remember them, use them. You grew up with stories. You were taken to bed with stories. And those of us who are older, we still keep giving stories to people as we take them to bed. Grandchildren, young children. People grow up on stories. The subconscious is used to stories. It likes stories, and it likes stories that it agrees with. And what really is posture? It is the way others perceive you, the image of you others believe to be true. Do people follow unsuccessful people? No, they don't. They follow successful people. So it's the image that you give, your body language, the words you speak, whether people know that you are on your own journey. If they know you're on your own journey, they know you're on a successful road, and they'll follow you, even though you don't have the success now, but you're on the road to success. They genuinely will follow you, because people follow successful people. They like to be around successful people. Let's just have a look at the success formula. And this isn't the Roy Slater formula. This is the formula that most of the successful people work around. It's not much use really if people aren't going to give us at least 5 hours a week. Because if people can't give us 5 hours a week, they definitely need our business. Believe me, they really do. And they've got to concentrate on the main thing. And what is the main thing? It's sponsoring. If we're not sponsoring, our business is dying. So we've got to spend 80% of our time on our own sponsoring, 10% on communication, 10% on the next event. Communication is upline, downline. And the next event might be a training, what we're doing tonight. It might be a webinar that we're doing. It might be a 3-way call. It might be a monthly meeting. It might be Rome. The event is the next thing that a new person can actually, and a new person could mean a new distributor or a prospect, that somebody new can go that can bring them forward in their business. And what we improve is what we measure. So when you're doing these things, you've got to concentrate on your numbers. Let's just have a look at that 5-hour breakdown so it gives you a little bit of an idea what the results come from. 5 hours times 80% is 4 hours of sponsoring. 4 hours, and you can roughly dial 15 times in an hour. So that's 60 dials. We'll get about 16% answer. So that's 10 contacts that answer. The skills, if you learn the skills, will produce a yes 80% of the time. 80% of the people will look at the business. 80% will follow up. That gives you 26 decisions a month. Wow. Could you see? If you apply 5 hours correctly and really work 5 hours, and I don't mean play, I don't mean kid yourself that you're working when you're speaking to upline, when you're on 3-way calls, doing other things, when you're doing 4 hours of sponsoring a week, the difference it makes to your business, the worst situation that you should ever think that you're doing if you are active in this business is 2 contacts a day. That's over 500. If you have a day off, that's 500 plus contacts in a year. Can you imagine just from 2 contacts a day the difference it would make to your business if you knew the skills? And what everything is based on knowing the skills. Make your list, minimum of 100 people, and when you're making your list, don't treat it just like any old list. This is your inventory. This is what opens your shop. And work on it as though somebody's paying you 10, 20, 30 pounds a name, and you're really out there working that list and making it happen. And don't just finish when you've made your list. Look to add to it daily. Look to find, there are some contacts that you will have, maybe Facebook, LinkedIn contacts that maybe you don't have telephone numbers. So create a build-up with people that you actually become their friends, so that you bring it to a situation where one day you can ask them, well, let's have a number and let's talk to each other. And then you can start working and adding new people to your list, because you never ever take people off your list. I'm revising this because I want you to know and have this as part of your psyche, that it just is automatic in front of you. 3 steps. Step 1, strike interest and sort. And you've got to book a follow-up. If you don't make a definite follow-up, very weak on what you're doing. So step 2, the prospect reviews the information. What we use is the webinar and the entrepreneur rise to the entrepreneur movie, which we're finding very effective. And after that, we collect a decision, a yes or a no. As simple as that. Look at your sort of questioning velocity in a way, and get just quicker at asking questions, but in a friendly way, in a conversation way. We're not there to interrogate. We are not the Synergy police. We are network marketers, and we are there to make friends with people. Make a friend a day. Make something in your psyche that works for you. People, when you're a friend, they tell you their needs and desires in an instant. Once you make a friend, and you can make friends within minutes. As I speak to people over a telephone, I have people open their hearts to me within minutes, never having met me before. So if you're doing face-to-face or over the telephone, if you say the right things and do the right things, they'll tell you all you need to know before they look at a presentation, because what is the point if they're looking at a presentation if you don't know what they're looking for? We want to know why they should look, or before they even look. And stop talking too much. The number 1 error of network marketers is that they talk to too few people, and the second error is that they say too much to the people they do talk to. So learn to ask questions and listen to the answers. Dig for the need. Ask them why they want more money. Why do they need extra money right now? If it isn't money, ask them what it is in their life that they want to change. Why do they want to change it? Why do they want to do the things? Why aren't they doing the things that they want to do? Call them to a higher purpose. Do you ever get the feeling you are meant to help other people? The human individual is hardwired to help people. It makes us feel good. So when you put those things in, it gives them a purpose that maybe the economy, their home life or whatever has ground them down. Oh, take their sunglasses off, let them see the sun, and repeat their needs back. And always remember, repeat them back in the same words. If you remember skill 1, that if you repeat them back in exactly the same words, whatever color they are, whatever the personality composition, it goes straight through the subconscious. They believe you, they have an affinity with you. I'm just giving you certain things to build your posture, because when you believe these things, your posture changes. Find out if they're serious. If they give you a reason after you repeat back their needs, ask them if they are serious. So you're telling me that you need to find £5,000 in the next 12 months to cover the cost of a wedding. Are you serious about that? Is that something that you really want? Or are you just whimsical about it? Don't be frightened of saying things. They have to say yes when they've said it, because they can't say no. It's an irresistible challenge. They've told you they have to say yes. Now I want you to look at this as well, so that you know and understand the difference. So it gives you the ability to view a business and know what it takes to reach pin levels, and it isn't such a big deal. Now, a lot of people talk about getting 2, and if the 2 duplicates for 3 months, you'll see you'll get 30 people in your business. If you get 3 that duplicate, you'll get 120. If you get 4 that duplicate, you'll get 340. If you get 5 that duplicate, you'll get 780. And what really is the difference? It's just 3 people. So you can see that continual sponsoring, and I don't mean sponsoring then people don't work, I mean sponsoring of people who actually go on and do something. Whether they're on the bullet train or the scenic route, it matters not. We walk with the walkers, we run with the runners, but we actually do quit with the quitters. We don't waste our time because our time is the most valuable commodity that we have. But that gives you an impression of what sponsoring can do if you learn the skills. Now just look at starting a business versus launching it. Just one thing, slow versus fast. So if the goal is to present to 20 people, how do we do it? Do we present to one a day for 20 days? Or do we invite all 20 on one day? Doesn't it seem sensible to crush it and get all 20 on one day just to move things forward? And that's how you've got to start looking. You've got to start looking at moving your business in a way that maybe you've never looked before, that you get confident with the skills and then you let the skills do the work quickly rather than slowly. You have to look successful. And how do you look successful from day one? You've got to have a system that works. You've got to be coachable. You don't want people in this business who know it all because they can't be taught. They're not coachable. So you want people that are coachable. You've got to be coachable yourself. You've got to have a belief in the system. You've got to have a belief in yourself. You've got to have a belief in network marketing. You definitely have to use third-party mentors, and you have to do daily self-improvement studies in whatever level that you want to do them. But you do need to move yourself forward. This is a forever business. You need to be forever improving within it. And you do need to sponsor quickly. Learn the gateway sponsoring skills very quickly so that you are able to go out. It gives you the competence when you know the skills. That helps you with your posture because it gives you the confidence to invite and invite quickly, because if you know that people are going to be successful, you do not mind talking to the world. Use your third-party mentors so that you learn while you earn. You learn the skills while you're listening to what they do. It's so important when new people come in to have a goal for 30 days and 90 days, because that story will be your success story for life, or it will be like a blacksmith's anvil on your back until you cut it free, draw a line in the sand and start again from day one and get a 30-day and a 90-day story. And it matters not how long you've been in the business. You have to decide on what you want to do from the day that you start moving forward in a different way and doing it and taking that as your day one, making sure you get a 30-day success story and a 90 days, because you build this business in 90-day blocks. So then you've got to learn not only the skills, then the next thing is learn how to teach the skills, and then just enjoy the journey. Really, this business is all about learning the skills, using the tools that are there, using the system, leveraging the help and credibility of your third-party mentors and the team, and really taking everything away from you. It's not about building egos. It's letting the system be the star. Now I'm going to walk you through a system that basically is designed for people who have blown away their warm marketplace, or who want to do a little bit of work in the cold market, because until you can actually do work in the cold marketplace, if people who join you want to do work in the cold marketplace, how can you teach it if you don't do it, you don't know it, and you're not confident? So the first thing that you're going to do, I would suggest, when you go into the cold market, I would say do it with your peer group. Do it with, if you're in health, talk to other health practitioners because you know what interests them. If you're a bricklayer, talk to other bricklayers or other tradesmen because you know the way they think, the way they work. So Use your peer group. You know, if you're a single mom, talk to other single moms. If we only ever spoke to single moms, are there not enough single moms that want to change their life? You can go down any way that you want to in prospecting, but you do have to learn to be confident and move it. Now, once you've actually broken the ice and you've actually talked about the things that are relevant with your peer group, just throwing it out there, would you be interested in a side project that didn't interfere with what you're already doing? Something that could maybe possibly double your income over the next 12 months? If they say yes, we move on. If they say no, don't try and persuade them. Just say no. Sorry to take your time, but would it be okay if I rang you back in 2 months just to let you know how we're doing? Most people are going to say yes to that because they think that 2-month phone call is never going to come. And is that another way that you've got somebody else in your prospect box that you can ring in 2 months and have another chat? You're building friends, you're building relationships. So if they say yes, yeah, right, I don't have time now to explain further because I've got to be on a webinar in 15 minutes. So would it be okay if I rang you this evening to go over the details? It only take about 10, 15 minutes. What would be a good time for you? So what you're doing, you're not giving them a chance to give you quizzes. You're not going to be on the phone for a long time. So you've got a quick in, a bit of chit chat with your peer group, a question. If they give you a yes, you're just going to tell them you're in a hurry. You're on a webinar in 15 minutes. Can you speak the same evening? If they can't give you the same evening, the next day. If they start giving you the, oh, well, I don't know what time, say, look, okay, no problem at all. I can tell that you're a busy person. I'm a busy person. Just give me one time when it would be convenient for both of us. If it's not within the next 2 or 3 days, I can see that maybe this business isn't for you. What I'll do, I'll ring you again in a couple of months. Keep your posture. Do not beg and borrow for time. If they and ah, it hasn't turned them on. So pass on, but give yourself the opportunity of calling them back within the next couple of months. When you ring back, you're virtually doing a plan B versus their job. So you ring back on time. If it's a 7 o'clock ring at 7 o'clock. Don't ring at 5 past or 10 past. And don't take another call that is going to stop you ringing them back on time. Be professional. When you get on, we probably both want to ask some questions. Would it be okay if I went first? You indicated you'd be open to a side project if it could double your income in a year. Is that still right? Yeah. Have you ever done a home-based business before? What would you be looking for in a home-based business? What advantages would it have to bring to the table to make you interested? How much money per month would it have to yield to make a massive difference to your lifestyle? How quick do you think you'd like that to happen? Can you see you're not pitching again, you're finding out about them. This is, in a way, the prospect giving you their presentation, why they should have our business. And if they don't do that, don't pitch them and don't show them tools. Don't send them to webinars or anything because it won't work. If you were the David Beckham of your profession, if you were the very best at your job and you did it better than anybody else out there for the next 20 years, do you think you'll be in a place to retire at the end of those 20 years with your dream lifestyle? I haven't heard anybody say yes to me to that one. So what you're telling me is that there is no chance that your job will ever provide you with the lifestyle you dream about. Even if you were the very best at it, you still won't achieve your dreams after 20 years. Yet you still give that job 8 to 10 hours every day, going down that road, knowing there is no light at the end of the tunnel. How does that make you feel? It's all about people don't make decisions with logic. They make decisions on the way they feel. Then we're talking a little bit more about their lifestyle. This is about increasing your income so that you can live a lifestyle that you really want to live. To give me an idea how you think, would it be okay if you walk me through some of the extra things you'd do if money was not a limiting factor? Listen, write it down, what they tell you, because you're going to repeat it back to them. Are there any things that might presently be causing you problems that would disappear if money was not a limiting factor? Again, the good and the bad. We want to just try and find, we want to get them to talk. We're building a relationship with this person. We're in a conversation. We're not in a quiz. We just do it slowly. Get into them, get the feelings, and don't be frightened to keep asking questions, because questions give you all the answers that you're looking for. Now, let me tell you what we're looking for, because we're searching for two people, or for people with two distinct qualities. One, somebody who's got a real desire for change. People who don't want to continue living the life that they have. They really do want the change of lifestyle. They want some things better than life is actually providing for them now. Or maybe life is providing what you want, but you have to work so hard and are so stressed in achieving it that you're just looking for a change in the way that you provide for that lifestyle. And somebody who is really committed. Somebody who, if actually know how to do it, they will actually do it. Look, both myself and the team invest a lot of time in making people successful. We teach all the skills necessary to be successful in our profession. We give you the tools for free, and we also wrap a successful team around each new person so that they get the best possible support that is physically possible. If I had a key that absolutely guaranteed success, would you want it? If they on and on, just ease back. Don't pitch, don't sell. If I gave you the tools for free and I taught you all the skills, would you put in the time to learn them? Is the desire to improve your lifestyle greater than the desire to stay the same? We are interviewing them, and we're letting them know that we're interviewing them, that we're not just going to, if they give us a wimpy yes, we're going to give them a wimpy okay, because it's up to you what you do, but I would give them a no at this stage in your life. I don't think this business is really for you, but I will ring you back in 2 months' time to see if your circumstances have changed. But if they're with us, great stuff. We've got somebody that we want if they're with us. Let me walk you through the process. What we do is to take people through a process which introduces them to what we do and gives us the opportunity to see if it's a fit for both of us. Would it be okay if I just walked you through the process? They give you a yes. We ask you, the first thing we do is we ask you to watch a video which explains the advantages of our profession against a normal job or business. This video is about 50 minutes long, but it really does set the scene of what our profession is about, what it does, and what the future of the economy is likely to be. Then the next stage, we go back and we talk a little bit more about you, because we want you to really, by this stage, you'll be thinking about the lifestyle that you want. You'll have dreamed a little bit more. You'll know in a defined way what you really do want. And then we help you to find a number on a monthly basis to make sure that that lifestyle can be realised. And we also try to assess the level of desire to live that lifestyle that you have. The next process is we ask you to watch a webinar, which takes about 20 minutes. This webinar gives details of everything anybody needs to know about our business. We then follow you up after that webinar, and we ask you any queries that you might have through the webinar, and we'll provide any further information that you might require to make a balanced decision. Then we come to the decision process, and then it has to be a fit for both parties. A simple yes or no is all that's required, and that's a simple enough process. Now, let's just look at the yes part of the business. It has to be a fit for both of us. If it's a fit for us, we think you're good for the job, but it isn't a fit for you, then it's a no. It might be a yes from you, but it might be a no from us. It might be that we don't think that a desire is strong enough to come through. So it's still a no. So it really is a process that we go through to make sure that our time teaching you the skills and pulling you through to success is really what you want. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, it is. Okay. Part of the training, we would request that you give us permission to let us invite one person onto the call as we speak to you, because that's one of the ways that we train new people. They don't talk, they just listen. Would you like to take you through the process? That's a pretty easy process. You can even do that with people, walking them through it with it up on your computer. If you learn the skills, you get competent at what you do. The competence will give you the confidence to do well what you do. That will change your posture. So you have to get your posture right even to start with, that you're on the journey. And then as you learn the skills, your posture just improves and improves and improves. Success really is what you make it. Any information that you need from this training, just free to email me at the Maverick Synergy Advantage Team at gmail.com. Next week, I'll deal with closing, the invisible close, and many other closes that make getting a decision really easy. But bearing in mind, the close should be easy if we take them through the process. Good night, and thank you for listening.